Alright, recap time real quick. As for the characters that we lost last episode, they included Corrin, Link, Cloud, Meta Knight, Mii Swords Fighter, and, unfortunately for me, Mega Man. So, in terms of the items that I used last episode that I can no longer use, they now also include Lipstick, Gooey Bomb, the Star Rod, and the Warp Star. That's enough recap. Let's get to this episode's action. Alright, looks like the Bladies are now standing in my path to kick things off, and I'm turning to Little Mac to help me out here, and especially his KO punch. Look, that thing is about to become my new best friend as it lands really early on, giving me the first stock lead of the match. Now, about a minute later, I did find myself having that KO punch option once again, so I used it pretty effectively. But the Bladies did come back hot and heavy, and, well, they got things all evened up again. A bit later, I did find myself with another KO punch opportunity, and missed it.
You suck.
But shortly after that, I was trying to land back on the stage, and for some reason, Pyra decided to charge an up smash for some reason, which then gave me the opening that I needed to secure the first victory of the day. I now find myself in a very unfair 2-on-1 situation as the climbers of ice have descended down the mountain of the Amiibo Nuzlocke. Now, things did start pretty hot as the climbing duo started racking up tons of damage on me, which helped give Little Mac a powerful new move, the KO punch. Seriously, that thing has already punched above its weight class, and we're only into the second match of the episode. A bit later, I did find myself facing off against Sopo, and, well, Sopo was doing his best to kind of stop my momentum cold. He's trying to freeze me right where I was. But, would you look at that? It's another KO punch. Now, towards the end of this battle here, the ice climbers really started going ham on me, and Mac, luckily, was able to withstand the barrage from the ice climbers, you know, what they threw at him. So, when I got back on stage, I was able to sneak past Nana, and bam! KO punch right on the money! Young Link is now up next, and I'm going to be honest, I cannot afford to mess around here, because if I do, I'm probably going to lose several characters, because this Young Link amiibo has the super armor spirit. So I had to dig into my bag of what items do I have left, and I chose the Golden Hammer. So my plan for this encounter is fairly simple, and maybe a little bit cowardly, but it's still a plan nonetheless. And that would be run away till the Golden Hammer spawns, grab it, and then go nuts. Now, I was very lucky to snag the first item spawn of the game, and the stock advantage came along with that. But Young Link didn't really seem to appreciate me having the stock lead.
Not anymore, you don't. Poof.
I then decided to replay the hits with a second Golden Hammer spawning. I grabbed it, and bam, I got the lead right back. And then, well, I'm guessing you might be able to figure out how this one's going to end, because a third Gold Hammer spawns. I snagged this one as well, and down goes the Super Armor Young Link. Yeah, that Gold Hammer absolutely saved me so much here. Oh boy, here we go. Pac-Man is up next, and yikes. This was brutal for me. So, Little Mac has been my reigning champ so far, but this Bamco legend has proved he had more in the tank than my boxer friend here, and, well, ultimately, at the end of the day, Doc Lewis would be ashamed of my performance.
This is humiliating.
So, moving on to another character attempt here, I chose the electrifying Pikachu. But, in the ultimate battle of yellow, Pac-Man told Pikachu that, well, Pac-Man was yellow before Pikachu even existed, and ended up suppressing any jolt of offense that Pikachu was able to muster, and, well, Pac-Man proved that he's just better at being the color yellow. Alright, Lucina, you're up next, alright? Lucina, you got this. I need you to come through for me. This losing streak has to stop right here. Lucina, you are my chosen one. You're a blue-haired swordswoman. And you lost.
Oh, no.
Okay, new strategy time. I might need an item, so I went and chose the drill item. Plus, I went back to Mewtwo, who kind of helped get a couple victories last episode, so hopefully he could get the job done once again. Anyways, the drill item dug straight into the action as I fired it out, and it started carrying the yellow Pac-Man away. But as he escaped, I was able to chuck like the holder part of the drill, nailing Pac-Man, giving me the stock lead. Hooray. Alright, so during the match, I was able to pull off a nice down special, disorienting move on Pac-Man, and then I hit him with a neutral special to follow it up. I mean, it ultimately didn't lead to anything, but it's always fun to pull that off, so I wanted to include that in the video for some reason. Alright, advancing a little bit forward into the match here, Pac-Man was able to take that drill item that I had turned on, so this is not going to go good for me. But he didn't really use it the intended way that it's meant to be used, because he just Z-dropped it on my face, causing Mewtwo's health bar to fall into the critical red. Now, as I was down to my final stock, I was trying just to take Pac-Man's second stock, but everything I did, Pac-Man just outmaneuvered me at every turn, and ultimately defeated me. That's 4 straight losses to Pac-Man now. Chicken Pit! That's what I'm going to call this new strategy. My next strategy is Chicken Pit. And what does that mean? Well, I'm turning on the chicken item, combined with a cowardly approach. Alright, so I sat long and hard and thought about how I wanted to approach this match. So Chicken Pit, here's what's going to happen. This was a seriously long and grueling battle, okay? But my plan was to use the chicken and just let it rack up damage on Pac-Man, and then I'd kind of like poke damage every once in a while and just run away. Try not to get too flustered by the situation. I already have 4 straight losses to Pac-Man. I can't afford a 5th. But pretty much over time, I was able to kind of whittle down Pac-Man's health and eventually his stocks. And then we got down to the final stock where I guess the chicken did actually come in pretty handy here, because as I threw it and it hit him, Pac-Man was metal because of his spirit, and, well, he just wasn't able to recover. So, I don't know, he kind of like gave up. There's too much chicken pit power here, so, I'll take the win however I can get it. Ah, finally, we can move past Pac-Man. Great. But now Daisy's my opponent. So, I guess Pit combined with item usage worked last time, so let's try it again. And this time my new item is going to be the Hothead. Now, I'm not really sure what happened here at the start of the battle, but Daisy practically gifted me the first stock, and I think that was... I don't even know. I don't really have an answer. Now, during Daisy's second stock, the Hothead actually started coming in a little bit more useful here. As one of the Hotheads was already circling the stage, a second one happened to spawn, which I was able to run over, grab, and use, and when I did that, it kind of caused Daisy once again...
What are you doing, mate?
Like her first stock to kind of, I don't know, like have this brain fart, and she forgot like how to recover in a timely manner, and she just kind of fell too far and wasn't able to get back to the ledge. So I got 2 stocks on her. Next, I told Daisy, but she didn't really listen to me, and she dropped me down to my last stock. Now, as the battle started winding down to its final moments, Daisy ended up falling into a perfect up smash spot for me, and luckily I was able to capitalize, giving me a win against Daisy. Now, before I could even think, before I could even start to relax, my next opponent happened to arrive.
Dark Pit, you just dropped in to crash my party?
So it looks like we find ourselves in the battle of these pseudo angels, and well, Dark Pit chased me all over the stage, and he was relentless with his down air. That's something I trained into him very well. But he chased me, he down air spiked me over and over and over again, and well, I lost really quickly. I think this whole match lasted maybe like 30 seconds.
And it's gone.
I now find my selection of characters that I can use for this challenge dwindling, so I had to turn to a character that I hardly ever play, that being the Mii Brawler. So I was able to get a proper start here with a nice forward smash, which gave me the early lead, and I was like, alright, I wasn't really expecting that, but we gotta roll with the punches. But as the battle was waging on, I found myself all of a sudden trailing on the scoreboard. Like, I was like, oh great, here we go, gonna lose another character. But I was able to survive an up smash, only to strike right back with a down special of my own, which evened up the match, but I found myself at 105% damage, and I kinda knew I had to take a risk in order to win this. And it paid off. Now, luckily, Mii Brawler has a unique talent, shall we call it? And it really started showing off straight away as this up special off stage ended up taking us both out, and we're both down to 2 stocks now. So I figured it was so effective that I wanted to try it a second time, because 12 seconds later, Mii Brawler's talent was on full display yet again. All right, down to our final stock. We definitely got to be a little bit more careful during this time, but I was somehow lucky. The Nuzlocke gods were shining down on me because Zero Suit Samus positioned herself perfectly to receive me, giving her one final up special. Whew, that was an episode. Wow, okay. But as for next episode, we will start off by facing the always dangerous Ganondorf. So I need to plan how I want to deal with him.